I feel like whatever I say is going to be more controversial. So actually, I'm going to pass the ball early. I'm going to give it to Nick right away.
Just for you guys' information, I am a Steelers fan, so I might be a bit biased, but my rankings were at number 1, I had the Ravens. I mean, they were something like 14-13-2 last season. One of those was a throwaway game. Best in the league last year. They just simply got knocked out, unlucky, to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And they just got Derrick Henry and didn't lose too many valuable people. Number 2, I got the Browns. They were They won 11 games last season, but having the most injuries by any team by far, and they still somehow got to 11 wins. Their quarterback was hurt half the season, and they were playing with Joe Flacco, who wasn't even on the team at the start of the season. I mean, it's insane. The coaching job was insane. They got Nick Chubb coming back, their best player, and just a lot of other people who are going to come back strong. So that's why I have them at 2. Number 3, I got my Steelers. I think we also got better from last season, but it's not as much better as the Browns did. But we got some good QBs, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, on good cheap deals. Two great quarterbacks I think are going to help us out tremendously. Whoever starts doesn't really matter to me. Russell Wilson, older vet, but a very good QB still. And he's at least average at this point. Justin Fields, below average, but he's still an upgrade from Kenny Pickett. Anybody's an upgrade from Kenny Pickett. That guy is. So, yeah, I think the QB play is a huge factor. I don't see how we got worse anyway, so I would have to put us at 3. Then the Bengals, I'm going to put at 4. I think they're still going to probably be a playoff team, or at least close to it. I just feel like they lost the most players, or they're the least good team, even though they're still an above average NFL team. I mean, I think T. Higgins is very likely to be getting traded, and I had some other people on their team who last season did not play very well compared to how they usually do, and I'm not sure how that's going to go this season. So I got the Bengals at 4, but you could probably rank them in any order you wanted. You could go reverse. Bengals 1, Steelers 2, Browns 3, and Ravens 4, and I wouldn't call you crazy. Just the division is so close and so talented.
I don't know. When you have a top 5, I can't pick you to be last in the division. I just can't. Who's Joe Burrow? Like, healthy.
So you had him at 5?
As a top 5. As a top 5, I think he's still.
Who's your 5th one?
We're doing AFC North rankings.
Yeah, but I'm saying
there's not a 5th AFC North team.
I'm saying he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
I just can't put him 4. Y'all know I want to go in here and hate and put Pittsburgh at number 4 because I hate the Steelers and he's a Steelers fan. I'm seriously debating between.
I would give him respect because he put us at number 1.
Yeah, that's why I want him to go first too.
Person. I try not to be biased.
Because I'm really debating between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, but I trust Pittsburgh more because between Fields and Wilson, they had to figure it out with one of them.
Yeah, and you always know we're going to be at least 9. At least 9 at a minimum. So
yeah, and we can't guarantee the Browns will win at least 9 games, and it's like you got 2 chances with Pittsburgh in the right at quarterback. With Cleveland, you only have 1 with Deshaun. But you gonna put Jameis Winston in there? Like,
no, they got Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley, if he does break out, I can see that. But I think it's hard. I think it's hard to predict that he would outplay Deshaun Watson because when you give somebody a $235 million contract, you expect them to be on the field. So I think it's a reach to say that Tyler Huntley would consider starting Tyler Huntley considering Deshaun Watson's contract.
I'm not saying they're going to start him. I'm just saying this league last year was all injury prone.
Sure.
So Joe Burrow was gone like half the season.
True, but I still think I would lean.
Like, there's a lot of quarterbacks getting hurt. Deshaun Watson got hurt last year. That's why they brought in Joe Flacco.
I would lean towards the Steelers figuring it out versus Cleveland because I know the Steelers are going to find a way to win 9 games, and that's why I'm leaning towards. I think I'm going to lean towards Pittsburgh. That's what I took into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and I don't trust Cleveland. I genuinely don't trust them. I trust Pittsburgh more than Cleveland. I trust them to be the team that they don't have no business beating. So for that factor alone, I had to put Cleveland number 4. But I really thought about putting them number 3, and I really want to. But I'm gonna give the Steelers some respect.
It's weird seeing you put the Steelers higher than me. Or you did. I'll take it.
So you said number 1 was the
number 4 is Cleveland.
4 is Cleveland.
Number
okay,
4 is
so
Cleveland.
you're going up.
Yeah, I'm going from 4 to 1.
Got you.
Number 3, Pittsburgh. I think they have everything besides what the Ravens and Bengals had, which is one-on-one quarterbacks at the position, and we've seen that does matter because you look at the AFC. You had nothing but dogs in the divisional round. C.J. Stroud is a dog. Josh Allen's a dog. Lamar and Mahomes, what they've done, it speaks for himself. So when you got somebody like that, I think it's hard to say, because the Ravens and Bengals are going to win some games they have no business winning just because Lamar and Joe Burrow is just that good at football, and you can't stop it.
Gotcha.
Russell Wilson, he's going to be playing against teams that are similar to the Steelers, or he's going to be playing against quarterbacks that are better than him, and he might win some of those games, but he's also going to lose some of those games too. Granted, I have a hot take. I can see every team in the AFC North winning 10 games this season. This is why this is so hard.
I don't think that's even a hot
At least.
I think it could very likely happen.
At least, maybe even more than that. At least 10 games. I would bet on that. Well, I don't know about Cleveland because I just don't trust them. But they could. Number 2, give me the Bengals. And not just because of me being a Ravens fan. I think Burrow tends to start the season off a little slow, and coming off injury in general, plus the pieces that they lost, like Nick mentioned earlier. I take all of that into consideration, plus what the Ravens added, in considering the whole. Even though the Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year, guys, the whole NFL is preparing to beat the Ravens. Yeah. What we did to the 49ers on Christmas night really scared the whole entire league. It scared the whole entire league.
Yeah.
So, for that reason, I'll say the Bengals too. And then give me King Henry and Lamar number 1. Give me the Baltimore Ravens number 1.
Okay. That's a nice list. I disagree with some of it. So I'm gonna give you my top 4. All right. So starting at 4, I'm gonna go Cincinnati, and the reason being is because they've lost some. They're going to lose some key factors in there. Only person I think is going to stay is Jamar Chase, but I think T. Higgins is going to be gone. Even though he said he's staying, we know this is a business. The NFL, they never show you their hand. So I think the Bengals is going to not do too good this year. So I'm putting them at 4. Number 3, I'm going with Cleveland. Cleveland just picked up somebody from the Broncos, Jerry Judy. So I think that's going to be a factor for them. And like I said, Deshaun Watson, this is his show and prove year, because he done got all that money. So now they like, yeah, they don't do nothing this year. You gone. You gone. You definitely getting cut or released, something. And then my 2 I'm going to give to Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh did acquire some good threats in the offseason. So I'm going to give it to Pittsburgh. And I feel like Mike Tomlin, this is his year to show that he can be a great coach because he's on the fence too of getting fired. Like for the last 2 years, they've been talking about firing him. So I think this is his year. I think this is his year to show and prove. If he don't at least make it to the playoffs and make some noise, I think he's going to be gone. And of course, number one would be the Ravens.
Very, very, very interesting. I disagree with some of it just because if you a top 5, you a top 10 quarterback in the league, especially if you a top 5 quarterback in the AFC, you're going to win some games that you're not supposed to.
Joe Burrow's been hyped throughout his career for being this guy, but when he's always had weapons. What happens when he don't have no weapons?
That is true. We haven't seen him without weapons, but I still.
What happens when he don't have none? You know, he always had weapons.
Let me just say this real quick. In reference to Tomlin, to me, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. You cannot be in the
Tomlin's
playoffs.
the coach.
I mean, coach. That's what I mean. Coach. You cannot be one of the best in the league, and each year, just about you make it to some type of bowl, some type of not bowl, but I'm saying you're in the playoffs, and he is good. And I'm not a Steelers fan. I'm
Right.
always a Ravens.
Yeah, me too.
But he's one of the best to me in the league.
I think, like I said, I think this is his show and prove year because there's been reports of him getting fired if they don't do good.
Those are BS reports. The organization loves him. The ownership, he's close to the ownership. They're actually extending him. There's a lot of rumors and reports they're going to try to extend him this summer.
Yeah, because he got a great team now.
I personally wouldn't let him go because you can either have him work with. You can either have him work with Russell Wilson now or try to develop Justin Fields.
I'm gonna tell you what I think Mike Tomlin is. I think Mike Tomlin is a good defensive coordinator. That's what I think Mike Tomlin is. And the reason why I say that is because he like that physical football. That's just him. He like physical football. So he should be a defensive coordinator, not not a head coach. That's just my opinion.
I heavily disagree. I've always been a top 10 coach, never a top 5, because he's just not consistently great coaching great teams enough. But I think he's always been a top 10 head coach.
Well, since Big Ben has been gone, what have he done?
He's had two years to rebuild. That's not enough time.
But now you have a young quarterback that you can develop,
Exactly.
Justin Fields. I really like him talent-wise.
I said the same thing about Pickett last year.
Pickett sucks. Fields,
They said
talent-wise,
the same thing.
he can run like Lamar can. He had that year in 2022. His passing's been inconsistent, but I've seen some good games. I've seen some bad games. Now, I was wrong on this, but Justin Fields, when I was watching him in 2022, I felt like if he was on a good team, he could really help somebody, like help a team win. It's just the Bears were that bad. I consider putting him top 10 quarterback at that time. Now, granted, I was wrong, but he was that electrifying. And I think after this year, because I think Russell Wilson will start, he will start, but Fields halfway through could take his job and take over. But I think that will be enough to compete in the AFC. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can get into the playoffs.
I think he'd make a great defensive coordinator because he preaches physical football.
I know the stat is overused, but if you're having a winning record every year, then you're doing something right. Like, it's not easy to win games in the NFL. You have to be a good coach to win games, and the fact he does it so consistently. And here's the other thing a lot of people don't realize. One of the reasons the Steelers don't go super far in the playoffs as much is because we don't get high draft picks. I think we've had one top 10 pick in the last 10 years, and we had to trade up to get that back. We always pick in the 20s because we're consistently a good team. We don't get those big prospects. We have to work in the second round, first round, third round.
Neither do the Ravens.
The Ravens have had picks in the earlier.
I think
not top 10.
Ronnie Stanley.
Look how long ago that was.
That was like 5 years. I'm saying the Steelers have not had those picks in 10.
Now I'm talking about like the top 5 picks. The Ravens have not. It's been a
Stanley's been picked. That was picked at 5.
Ronnie Stanley. Come on now.
I think
he was one of the best left tackles in the league.
He had one good year, and
He had
then
like
everybody
2 or 3
think
good
he's
years.
the best left tackle. He's
He
horrible.
was, but then he got hurt. He was the best left tackle for about.
Ronnie
a year.
Stanley is horrible. I'm just saying.
Now
I
he is,
think
not
I think
back
the
then.
Ravens should have been moved on, but the Ravens when they loyal to people that they like,
I don't
they
think
keep
he's
them.
I don't think he's bad. But I don't want injury-prone players on my
Exactly.
team, so I'll let him go. I think they should let him go. Though I do agree with that. But I think playoff wise, I don't think it's just the fact of what Nick was saying. I also think it's because they don't have a dog in the AFC. It's really hard to win a playoff game in the AFC when you have guys like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson,
Exactly.
C.J. Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert. Aaron Rodgers is going to be healthy this year. When you have top end talent like that, it's really hard to even make the playoffs in the AFC.
And to go back to what you said, saying that Ronnie Stanley, you're right. He was great for 2-3 years, but you're right. He's not great now because he got hurt. But the thing is, if you can't make the best out of those big picks, then you're doing something wrong. The Steelers always have late picks, and a lot of them turn out well. T.J. Watt picked out like 28. Other players too, like that. Like when you're picking late, people don't realize what percentage of first round picks don't turn out well. Like 50% of 80% of them never make a Pro Bowl. And only a couple percent even make the Hall of Fame or All Pros.
I think it all depends on what you're looking for, and I think that's the thing that the Steelers don't do well. They don't pick out players that they need. They pick out players that they just grab instead of picking out players that they need. If you notice, like Ozzie Newsome, one of the best recruiters ever, best scout ever. He picks players that he knows he needs.
Agreed.
And that's just that makes a great scout. When you just picking players with like, oh yeah, this is what we got to work with. Let's just grab them. We don't really, I don't know, man, we're gonna try to develop them, but we're just gonna pick them. And I think, far as your point on Ronnie Stanley, I think the Ravens made a big mistake when they let Orlando Brown go because they wanted to save Ronnie Stanley.
He's crap now. Orlando Brown's not that good.
Nah, Orlando Brown bought Kansas City a championship. That's what he did.
He helped.
He helped. He
helped.
He's not that. He's not terrible, but he's not.
I'm telling y'all.
As he was.
I'm telling y'all, most players cannot get to Patrick Mahomes because of what? His offensive line.
He also had.
Mahomes is so good.
He had Craig
seen
Humphrey,
enough.
one of the best
Give
centers.
Patrick Mahomes a bum offensive line and let's see.
Maybe with this
He'll
new
be
Chiefs-
crying. He'll be crying.
Maybe with this new Chiefs
Yeah.
team, they're not as talented as they were in the past when they had Tyreek Hill and they had explosive offensive and they had guys like Tyrann Mathieu.
Actually,
But-
I think Orlando Brown plays for Cincinnati now, right?
He does, yeah.
Okay.
But like when they had a stacked roster, I would be like, it don't matter when you're that good. Like Mahomes, to me, is probably already a top 3 quarterback in NFL history.
Oh, that's not even close to true.
Or at least
That's not even close.
okay. Now we're gonna talk about Drake responding to Kendrick Lamar. Man, well, I think this is very interesting. I think rap. I haven't really been intrigued by rap lately because there hasn't been a lot going on. But if Drake wants to win this rap battle, because to me it's just friendly competition. I don't think there's actual real beef. And I know Jordan's gonna want to talk about this probably. I think because there's a YouTuber called DJ Academics. He's a Drake fan, but he's kind of ejected. Like if Kendrick comes out there and drop a hard bar, he's going to tell the truth and like, yeah, he like Kendrick killed it on this line. But I think embracing some promotion that DJ Academics might give him, because DJ Academics, he breaks down lyrics and what they mean, things like that. if that's one way he can win. Two, he gotta make a popular hit. He gotta make a club hit, a club song that everybody can listen to that has replay value, things of that nature. Because I'm not sure lyrically, I'm not sure if he can compete with Kendrick. It's at least debatable if he can. I think he has to go a different way than just trying to go lyric for lyric, bar for bar. Third way, I'm not saying this is right, but a lot of people have done this in the past to win rap battles. You gotta get personal. Tupac got personal with Biggie, had everybody think he slept with the man's wife. Same thing with the Jay-Z and Nas beef. They were talking about being with each other's girls. You gotta get personal. You gotta at least make people think it might have actually happened. Because I know his cousin Baby Keem said, I think he was that Drake was trying to get into his girlfriend's DMs or something like that. So you gotta talk about something like that too. You can even go on that route. Throw SZA under the bus. She's kind of the middle woman because she has a relationship with both Drake and Kendrick. It could be some personal thing she might have slipped up and told Drake about Kendrick. So use that to your advantage. And the number 5, you gotta hope that Kendrick just doesn't respond. Jordan, do you have any thoughts on it?
I think this whole thing is funny, as I don't know what. Like, now Drake is beefing with Rick Ross. The things Rick Ross is saying, hilarious. Also, the scissors thing, I don't know how she got in it. She's confused. I'm confused. She even posted saying, now why am I in it? What else? Who else? Also, the part where Drake said he told Metro to shut up and make some beats, that had me rolling. And, like, I don't know what Metro's gonna do now. I mean, that's what he might drop. Do you think he's gonna drop an album?
That would be very interesting. It would be so funny. I'm all for it. I want competition back in rap. Cause outside of Polo G and maybe a few Young Boy songs, guys are like that every now and then. It ain't really been nothing. I mean, although I do enjoy seeing like Gorilla. I think as far as the female game, she might be one of the, as far as the new female rappers, she might be the hottest out. I do enjoy seeing things like that, but on the men's side, it ain't really nothing. But I ain't gonna lie, the females in the rap before these last couple of weeks, maybe even over the past year, they've been popping more than the men. I know people gonna hate me for saying that. They've been popping more.
So I got a question for you. Top 5 female rappers.
That's the thing. Well, there's Megan. I'll put her at my number 1. Number 2, I'll say Nicki. 3, well, I don't have 2 favorites, to be honest with you.
Well, let's go 5 though.
Who else is there? There's Lotto. And then I'll just put out Ice Spice just because.
Ice Spice? Okay.
Her
lyrics
are just funny.
You got one more.
Ooh.
You didn't name somebody that I thought you was going to name at the top 3. So I'm like boggled over here. I'm like, I can't wait to say something.
The question is, are we doing current or are we doing all time?
I'm going to say current. Say current.
Oh, then I don't really have like a good current.
Well, you did. You gave Megan. Megan's still out here popping. You gave Nicki. Nicki's popping. You gave you said Lotto.
I was gonna throw Missy Elliott.
And then you said Ice Spice. You can throw Missy in there.
Missy's still.
Okay, so that's 5.
Out?
That's your 5.
All time it'd be kinda.
I'm shocked because
Coming up with a tour.
I'm shocked because you didn't put Cardi B in that in that conversation. So that's why I was over here like, ooh, this is different. I like this.
This is difficult, regardless. But I think I'll give it top 5, current and then all time. I respect Nicki. I respect Cardi B. They've been doing it for a long time, so I'll put them up there. I don't think I'm gonna give an order. Glorilla is one of my favorites. That's my woman's crush. I'm not gonna lie.
She's from Atlanta.
Glorilla. I thought she was from Memphis. Glorilla.
I was told she was from Atlanta.
So
I think she's from Memphis. I think. I'll find out though.
I'll put Glorilla in there. I'll put Megan Thee Stallion in there, and then I'll put Lotto in there. That's my top 5 current. All time is kind of hard, but Lil Kim has to be in there. Nicki's in there too. Missy Elliott.
Yeah, she's from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Missy Elliott has to be in there. Then it gets hard. So
You said who's your number 1?
you talking about all time?
All time.
All time, Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim, take your pick. I'm not even gonna get into that.
I would arguably say Lil Kim.
Yeah, take your pick on that one. Missy Elliott, I'll put in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna do one current and then one. I'll put one current person in there just because off the top of my head, you know, if I think about it a little bit longer, but off the top of my head, I don't know ball too much. But I'll put Cardi B in there and then Queen Latifah.
Okay.
Do you have one?
What?
Current and all time? Or you don't know? You don't
current,
know?
Current. I will go. I'm gonna go Megan. 2, I'm gonna say Lotto, because Lotto has just been on fire. 3, I'm gonna go Cardi. 4, I would go to Nicki. And then 5 would be Gorilla. That's current. Now my all time, I would go Lil Kim. No, first, I'm sorry, MC Light. Then I would go Rod Digger. Then I would go, because I'm a lyricist. I like lyricists. Rod Digger. Then I would go Missy Elliott, Foxy Brown. And then
I could have mentioned her. I knew who she was.
and then Lady of Rage.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I know.
Actually, no, not Lady of Rage. I'm sorry, I missed because you threw me off with the Roxanne Shante. I like that one. I'm gonna go Dej Loaf.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Ooh, really? That shocks me. That really shocked me. She was great.
Dej Loaf, the truth. A lot of people just don't.
Yeah, I remember those songs she made with like Chris Brown and Jhené Aiko when she was with Dirk. That's how I found out who Dirk was. Like I didn't know who Dirk was until
You found out who Dirk was
through Dej Loaf. Through Dej Loaf when they were together.
A lot of people.
That's really surprised me. I knew who Foxy Brown was, but off the top of my head, I just couldn't think about it.
Foxy Brown used to give. She used to have bars. Rod Digger is like, oh my god, she's nasty.
No Queen Latifah. Was she? Do you think she was like that?
Yeah, I would say that. I would say she would be in the honorary mention rules for me.
Okay. Okay. So my top 5, I guess, wasn't too bad.
And the only reason why I didn't put her up in the top 5 is because she did like some crossover stuff to like jazz, and that took some points off of me.
Okay, that's bad.
Because people have been wanting a Queen Latifah album, and then she come out with a jazz album. And it's like, we want to rap.
Kind of like how Beyonce came out with the country album.
Yeah.
Okay. Do y'all think the state of rap is going into the right direction based off of what's been going on the past couple of weeks?
Not really.
You don't think so?
It's not what it used to be. At least
it's never going to be what it used to be. I think it's going to do what it does. To be honest with you,
I think we need
rap is never going to be what it used to be.
Yeah. I think we need more friendly competition like this.
Or you know what it is? They don't rap about stuff anymore. They rap about money, girls, doing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, rap used to be about like real stuff. Now it's just flexing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of hearing the same song over and over again.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about the now, we should do a top 5 meals current all time. I think I'll go first. Polo G is my favorite meal rapper at the modern day, so I have to put him on there. It gets very interesting at the NBA YoungBoy. I have to put on there. I don't know how modern I'm gonna go. That's
Well, you got 3. You need 2 more.
Well, I said 2. I need 3 more actually.
You said top 5. You said
Polo, NBA YoungBoy,
NBA YoungBoy, and I thought you said somebody else. Did you say somebody else? Oh, okay.
Lil Baby.
Okay.
I had to put in there. This is very because the male rappers have not been popping that much lately, so it's
okay.
It's very tough.
You got 2 more.
2 more. This is tough. I might go with some of the older dudes for now. Drake and Kendrick. Whoever win, because J. Cole gotta get out the top 3, man, for now. Gotta take a break. So I'll go Drake and Kendrick. But yeah, that's my top 5 for now. I might go younger. I might change my mind a little bit. But,
older.
Yeah, I'm saying I picked the 2 older guys of this generation. Like 2 old. Like
Yeah.
Drake is like.
I'm saying with the last one we did, current and.
Oh, you saying all time?
Yeah.
All time, give me Tupac, Biggie, Lil Wayne, Nas, Jay-Z, and Eminem honorable mention.
Okay.
For my top 5, I would say J. Cole, Kendrick, Jay-Z.
All time?
Mm-hmm.
You still put J. Cole up there?
Yes, in terms of lyrics, because I'm more listening to the lyrics. Cardi and Nas.
You have current day and all time for the men?
Yeah, my current would be the Baby, cause he just be killing it. Then I'm gonna go Lil Baby. Then I'm gonna go. Oh man, this is tough. I'm gonna go T Grizzly, and then I'm gonna go. What's his name? I listen to some of his music. I don't particularly like it because it seemed the same. But what's his name? Big Boogie.
Oh, I really like Boogie. A couple years ago, crazy. He's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
Outside of Polo G, out of the new ones, he's probably one of my five favorites. Maybe one of my 3 favorites.
And then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna throw Ross in there.
Current day?
Yeah. Ross is still making music, so I'm gonna throw Ross in there. Ross don't get mentioned in people's top 5 or 10, but he's been consistent for like his whole career. All right, and all time I'm gonna go. Jay-Z's number 1. That's my dog. Jay-Z's number 1. Biggie number 2. Pac 3. Bone Thugs 4. And 5 will be Beanie Siegel.
Right. Some of those guys are probably 90s or 80s guys. So I don't know ball. Did you give a top 5 current or you don't have one?
My top
for the men.
There's Cardi. I listen to some Yeet.
No, you said men.
Men?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are male rappers.
Cardi?
There's a
Playboy Cardi.
Playboy Cardi. Oh, okay.
Yeet, because his music is actually fun. J. Cole, Kendrick, Jay-Z.
Very, very, very.
I listen to more old music.
I can see that.
Why are we on this topic? Let's stay hot on this topic. Is hot right now. What about overall artists?
Nah, where you gonna do that one?
You don't want to do that one?
No.
That's too controversial? Okay. I gotta pass it to my man Simon now.
Alright.
Simon, what's the hottest movie? Or what we got this week?
Well, this past few weeks there was the trailer for Joker, Folie et Dieu, or Madness of Two.
Okay.
This is the sequel to 2019's Joker. Joaquin Phoenix and Zazie Beetz are returning to reprise their roles, and Todd Phillips is returning to direct as well. Also joining them is also Lady Gaga, who's going to play Harley Quinn.
That's interesting.
Yeah, which should definitely be interesting to watch. This film is actually going to be a musical, a jukebox musical.
Wow.
They've announced that there are going to be 15 songs that are going to be featured in the movie. At least 2. They've said that maybe 1 or 2 may be original.
Mm-hmm.
The only one they've confirmed is going to be, the only song they've confirmed that's actually going to be in the movie is That's Entertainment from The Bandwagon.
Oh. So Simon, did you like the last Joker, or you think this one was going to be better than the last one?
If I'm being honest, wasn't really a fan of the first Joker.
Okay.
I mean, I like Joaquin Phoenix's performance, and I definitely enjoy a lot of the stylistic choices that Todd Phillips did, with sort of doing homage to various Scorsese films like Taxi Driver or The King of Comedy, but for the most part, I just wasn't really that big into it. Maybe just because it's just me speaking, but I'm not really a fan of them trying to give the Joker an origin story, even though this is supposed to be in its own. Even though this movie's supposed to be in its own separate universe and not really connected to the rest of the DC universe, but even then, I'm just not really a fan of that whenever they try to give the Joker a origin story.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, the idea of making a sequel a musical is definitely it's definitely an interesting choice. I mean, I can definitely see how they can do that, since with the first film, they definitely played a lot with what was real and what was all in Joker's head. So I kind of want. So yeah, I think this definitely should be interesting. But
because it's a jukebox.
Yeah, it's a jukebox musical.
What is that? What is a jukebox musical?
It's a musical where all the songs are pre-existing songs, rather than songs originally written for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also I think as for doing a sequel to the Joker, the first film wasn't the first. I think that the first film was just supposed to be its own separate thing. I guess I don't think it was ever supposed to be a setup for a sequel or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember it was supposed to be part of a new sub franchise of sorts called DC Black, which I guess would have been more darker, grittier, more grounded takes on DC characters. I remember hearing they were going to do a Lex Luthor movie. It was going to be a political thriller in the vein of something like House of Cards, but I don't think that's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
Just a shame. So, I mean, with the first film, they sort of told a complete story, so I don't really. So trying to do a sequel, I just feel I don't know, but.
You don't like sequels?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I feel like with the first film, the first film was always sort of meant to be its own thing. I just feel I don't know. I'm not really sure where you can really go with a sequel in terms of character-wise or story-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, adding Harley Quinn into it is definitely I guess that's a bit of a logical choice. I mean, I don't think they can do Batman since he feels out of place with this more grounded universe they've created.
Yeah.
So yes, and as I mentioned before, Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn. That's definitely something That's definitely could be interesting. I definitely want to see her take. I definitely want to see what her take on the character is going to be.
Gotcha.
Anyone else have anything they want to add?
No questions particular comment, but I think you gave some very insightful information, Simon. I really like your segment.
I think that there's a sequel. I think they wrapped everything up in the first movie, so it's kind of confusing. Or like I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with the second movie. And Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn is definitely a choice.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see what direction they're gonna go with that.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna pass it on to Jordan. We're gonna talk about Jake. She's gonna talk about Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson and our thoughts on it.
I think it is stupid to go against Mike Tyson. Extremely stupid. That is a setup.
I agree, and what I heard was that Logan Paul declined going up against Mike Tyson, which I don't blame that man because
He's smart. He's smart for doing that. I don't blame him.
But I'm saying if it was your brother, or would you say, man, you made that decision on your own? You out your mind?
I would say he's out of his mind. Mike Tyson's a whole different animal, man. He's out for blood when he boxing. He's just out for blood. He's like, why did you even come for me? I've been sitting in my house doing my podcast. Leave me alone. But I will knock you out for some money. I knock you out for some money.
What about you, Mr. Jaggers? Would you get in the ring with him?
Hey, if it was my brother, I'd get in the ring. I'd make sure I had a headgear on. I'd make sure I have the headgear on. I mean, that's one of the things that he has said that he's going to have is headgear. So, I would still get in the fight.
I told Mike, I'm like, hey, you can set your record if you want, bro.
Plus
Like
money.
we're gonna be in here for about 7 seconds. You're gonna have a new record, a new knockout record. I'm just gonna fall. Whatever he decided to do.
He ain't getting a swing on me because as soon as he swing, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
You gonna flop?
I'm gonna fall. Yeah, I'm gonna fall right. I'm gonna fall right away. I'm gonna like just act.
I'm gonna act like a little spit came out my mouth, like he actually hit contact, but he ain't even gonna touch me.
I'm gonna like just act like you. I'm like just act like you hit me. I'm gonna be out. I'm there with
You
my
can't
brother.
tell Mike Tyson to act like, cause he's gonna hit you.
I'm like, now what he decided to do in the ring is what he decided to do in the ring, but
Yeah.
I'll die going for that. Also, do y'all think the fight will be rigged? Because Floyd Mayweather kind of said that he did it for the money. I feel like he definitely could have won that fight very early if he really wanted to. Although Logan Paul did perform well, I think he could have. I still think Floyd Mayweather could have easily won if he wanted to.
I think he performed enough just for the money.
I agree.
I think it's like a pop culture thing. Two famous people going at it. It's gonna be on Netflix, I'm pretty sure too. For the entertainment person, I'm sure they're gonna tell them to go at least longer than it should, because Tyson can knock him out quickly.
Oh yeah, Jaggers, you think it's a money thing?
It's definitely about money. Always remember, it's always about the money. It's always about the money. They would not do it unless it's about money. And if you think about it, look at all the hype that's behind it. Look at all the videos you see both of them putting out there. They're hyping this up because the more that you do that, the more money comes in. So that's what it's all about. It's all about the money.
All about the money.
Yep.
Next up, we're going to talk about the NBA draft as well as, like, I guess, women's college basketball.
Oh, let me ask one question, too. Can we talk a little bit about Deion Sanders losing as many as he has in this new draft portal, this new portal that is going on now?
Well, I think Deion Sanders is a great coach. It's definitely going to have an impact, but I still see him finding ways to win games that he doesn't supposed to win. To me, from what I've seen from him so far, it kind of reminds me of the Mike Tomlin of college football, just based off of what I've seen.
I think he's a good motivator. He makes you believe in yourself when you don't really believe. I think that's his good trait. His speeches, his locker room speeches is like motivational.
Deion or Mike?
Deion. Yeah, it just motivates you. They'll motivate you to. If he tell you to run through that wall right now, you're gonna run through it after he finishes talking to you. You're gonna run straight through it. That's just Deion. You know, he's like Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis can pump you up to make you believe you can run through that wall if you really want to run through the wall. That's just what he does.
I believe it. You know, he's one of the greatest football players to ever play. You know, arguably a top 5 defensive player in NFL history. But we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But I want to get some of these NBA segments in.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to talk about what's going on with the WNBA draft and the whole Iowa South Carolina situation. Even though South Carolina over the past 3 years have been 109 out of 112 games.
Mm-hmm.
They won a championship 2 of the last 3 years, and I believe the year that they didn't win, they were Final Four or Elite Eight. Dawn Staley, in her career, over the past 7 years, has coached 3 national championship teams, and Caitlin Clark is getting more media coverage. Iowa's getting more media coverage. The Indiana Fever is getting more media coverage. What do y'all think that's all about?
Money. That's what the media's gonna cover. What people want to see. If people want to see Caitlin Clark, that's what they're gonna do. Kind of reminds me of last NFL season, like Taylor Swift with Travis Kelce, because it was making so much money, and a lot of people were complaining because the NFL would post her nonstop. It's about the money, because when they post Taylor Swift, they get new people to look at the post, and that gets the money. They're gonna post what people watch. It's the same thing with regular news. They're gonna put stories that people are gonna be interested in, so they'll get money. Like Mr. Jagger said, it's all about the money.
Oh yeah, awesome. I definitely agree with that. But I will say that Caitlin Clark is an amazing basketball player. But like I said before, to be in certain discussions, to me, she's like the Charles Barkley of college women's basketball. Great player, one of the greatest players ever. But I would put her in a conversation of one of the greatest to not win a championship. I think accomplishments and accolades matter when we talk about the greatest players of all time. I think there's a difference between the greatest of all time and the best of all time. And when you see me do these all-time rankings, I'm gonna emphasize that a lot. First overall, I'll talk about first overall, Caitlin Clark going to the Indiana Fever. I think that is very well deserved. If you don't pick her first overall, you're gonna lose your job. You had to pick her first overall. I think the reason why Angela Reese dropped so low, because even before the draft, I saw she was projected to go like 9th or something like that. I think.
The draft was yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I missed it. Dang.
I think that. Yeah, I think that WNBA teams are concerned about maybe her developing offensive bag per se, because you can't be concerned about defense or rebounding. It has to be that I think they think that although she's great, she needs a little bit more development. That's the only thing I can think of.
She's been working on her 3-point shot, I know. I've seen some videos.
I think it's going to translate, especially where her new teammate, Kamala. Yes, I'm interested to see that, and I believe Angela Reese and Caitlin Clark is in the same division. Cameron Blank went second to Los Angeles Sparks. That's a good pickup.
So who was first?
Caitlin Clark, of course. Cameron Blank went second to the Sparks. That's a good pickup for them. They'd be more excited next season. As well as they got two top. They got two top for Rikia Jackson. They have two. Wow, the Sparks might be might be interesting to watch next season.
About the Washington Mavericks.
Washington Mavericks, they got Akil Edwards. Certain teams I had to wait and see, but that'll probably be another WNBA team I will be interested to see when I'm able to actually look at the games. But I'm very excited to see this draft class. This is at least the most interesting WNBA draft class ever, because I've never been this intrigued to actually watch women basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But now with this new draft class, I'm gonna be tuning into some games anytime I get a chance to.
Gotcha.
But now I want to talk about, I guess, play-in tournament predictions, because the play-in games are tonight. Now I broke down a whole list of the whole playoff bracket, but I don't think we might not have time to actually do that. Right. But I'll talk about the play-in teams. The Lakers play the Pelicans. The big news that I've been seeing is, should the Lakers lose to Duck Smoke so they won't play the Nuggets, defending champions, who's beaten them the past 8 games, and risk playing Stephen Curry for the second play-in with everything on the line, or a Sacramento team that they struggle against? Or should they go out there and destroy the Pelicans just like they did a couple nights ago? I think that conversation is ridiculous, because the Lakers, the all-time Lakers, 17 championships, all these all-time great players, and y'all talking about them ducking smoke from somebody? LeBron James is in top 2 greatest of all time conversation, and you talking about him ducking smoke from somebody? This man didn't duck smoke from the 2017 and 2018 Warriors. He could have went out there and be like, you know what? I'm not even trying to drag this sorry Cavs team to the finals just to get swept by KD. But he said, bring them on. I don't think LeBron is scared. It's LeBron. Now, the Lakers going to beat the Nuggets? No. Nuggets in 5. As the Lakers, do you see this cat? Y'all see this cat? Nuggets in 5. Over I don't know. Nuggets over everybody, because I think it's just hard. That atmosphere. It's the talent. It's the experience. There's only a few teams that got more experience than the Nuggets. It's the coaching. You know, it's Jokic being the man, and it's the atmosphere too. Because even in the NFL, a lot of teams say it's hard to go up Denver and win. Although, like when we won the Super Bowl that year in 2012, the people were saying we were going to lose to the Patriots, but the round before that, they were saying we were definitely going to lose to Denver, because nobody goes up Denver and wins, because the climate up there is very, very hard. But I got the Lakers beating the Pelicans. Then I have the Warriors beating the Kings. I got Atlanta and Chicago is very, very interesting. I think either way they're not going to make it. Although I think Atlanta has a better chance to make it than Chicago.
Yeah.
Narrative. I want narratives to be pushed. So I want it to be Philly and New York, and Miami and Boston. Cause there's some narratives right there. Whoever comes out, the whole, because Miami did beat Boston. It's like, man, like y'all lost to them again. And New York and Philly is really interesting, because I saw a line of who is more likely to make the Eastern Conference Finals going forward, the Knicks or the 76ers. So I that's what I want narratively, but I think Miami, I just trust them to playoffs and play in tournaments. So give me Miami over Philly, and then give me Philly over Atlanta, and then give me the Warriors to get that last spot in the West. That's what I personally think will happen. Also, does anybody have any hot takes of the week? It can be about anything.
I think it was a good idea for J. to step out.
That take
I changed my mind.
Hot. No. That's like me ducking smoke from Stephen A. Smith.
But with all this going young.
That's like me saying. That's like me saying, and I would be opposed to this. That's like me saying, Stephen A. Smith, let's have a live debate about any football or basketball topic right now, and then me saying, you know what, I can't compete with this man. I would. I believe in myself so much that I would oppose a live debate with Stephen A. Smith about any football or basketball topic right now. Right now. When you're that great, when you have that much potential, or when you're that great, you have to have the utmost confidence in yourself, and you have to be delusional. Right now, I'm only this great because I'm delusional. I'm only this great because of the talent that God gave me, and because of my own delusion.
Your own delusion. I like that.
So I feel like when you're on a certain type of level, you have to have the delusion. You have to have that delusion.
Maybe you want to spare them.
Nah, I don't know about that. This will be the very last segment. I want us to get more familiar about doing blind rankings. I know you like Avatar. So, I'm going to give you a list of 1 through 4 of Avatar characters based off strength without knowing who's next. I'm going to start off with Katara.
4.
Fire Lord.
5.
Ozai.
5.
No, it's 1 through 4.
Oh, 3.
Ooh, Katara and the Fire Lord. That's a tough one.
Are you talking about Katara in her prime, or?
Yeah, everybody at that peak.
Yeah, 4.
Avatar Aang.
2.
You're so lucky because Korra is your number 1. Not the Legend of Korra. I mean, between Aang and Korra, actually.
Well, see, in some ways she's stronger, in some ways she's weaker.
That's true.
But in terms of like physical fighting, it's Korra. Physical combat, hand-to-hand combat.
Okay. That's it. That's all for today. It's your host, King JTH, hosting the SME show. We'll be back next week from 6 to 7 on Tuesday.
If you picked Kiyoshi, I would have put her at number 1. So fast.
Power 4.4. So I need